It's late, but sleep feels a world away. There it is, a jagged red line pointing down, a number that has shrunk since you last looked, an hour ago. A familiar tightness grips your chest, a cold knot of dread in your stomach. It feels personal, like a judgment. In that silent moment, a day's work, a week's peace, can be stolen by a set of pixels representing something happening in a place you'll never see, decided by people you'll never meet. We have all felt this. This strange modern vulnerability, where our inner world is held hostage by the chaotic whims of the outer world. Have you ever stopped to ask why? Why does this external number, this abstract representation of value, possess such profound power over our internal state? We are told it is the price of admission to the game of building wealth, a necessary anxiety on the path to freedom. But what if this entire premise is a lie? What if the frantic checking, the news addiction, and the emotional roller coaster are not essential parts of the journey, but the very obstacles preventing us from ever reaching our destination? The humiliation is subtle, a quiet poison. It's the sting of seeing a friend's triumphant social media post about a successful investment while your own portfolio bleeds. It's sitting at a dinner table where conversations about market gains and real estate portfolios make you feel invisible, left behind. We feel the weight of a silent clock, ticking louder each year, whispering that we are too late to start, that we've missed the boat everyone else is on. This isn't just financial pressure. It's a deep existential ache of inadequacy, a feeling of being fundamentally out of sync with the world. These pressures are not just in our heads, they are amplified by a culture designed to make us feel insufficient. The ads, the finfluencers, the relentless parade of success stories, they all conspire to create a landscape of constant comparison. But the most formidable obstacles are the ones we carry inside. The deep-seated belief that our self-worth is tethered to our net worth, the gnawing anxiety that we aren't smart enough to navigate this complex world, and the paralyzing fear that one wrong move could lead to ruin. These internal chains are far heavier than any market downturn. We were sold a powerful, seductive myth that financial success is about controlling the uncontrollable. It's the grand illusion that with enough information, the right analysis, and perfect timing, you can outsmart the market. This belief turns investing into a high-stakes performance, a constant battle of wits against an indifferent global machine. The invisible consequence of this promise is a state of perpetual warfare with reality. It breeds a chronic anxiety, a need to be constantly vigilant, turning our minds into frantic command centers, processing a flood of useless data, all in a futile attempt to predict the future. This quest for control is exhausting. It leads to what we might call performative consumption of financial news. We gorge on articles, podcasts, and market analysis, not to become wiser, but to soothe our anxiety, to feel like we are doing something. Yet this frantic activity only deepens our emotional entanglement. Every headline becomes a potential threat. Every market dip a personal failure. We are not investing. We are gambling with our peace of mind. And the house always wins because the game is rigged against human psychology. The truth, a quiet and profound revelation, is that true financial freedom is not achieved by predicting the market, but by mastering your internal response to its unpredictability. The source of our fear is not the market's volatility. It is our desperate attempt to impose our will upon it. The great Stoic emperor Marcus Aurelius knew this. He governed an empire, a system far more chaotic than any stock exchange, and his guiding principle was simple: to distinguish between what is in his power and what is not. This is not a passive resignation. It is the ultimate strategic repositioning. Let us begin by applying this distinction, the first and most crucial rule of Stoic investing. Take a moment and truly separate the two domains. On one side, you have the market's movements, interest rates, geopolitical events, news headlines, and the opinions of a million strangers. These are like the weather. You can prepare for it, you can respect it, but you cannot command the rain to stop. They are, in Stoic terms, indifference, and their power to harm you is granted only by your own judgment. On the other side is your domain, your kingdom. Within these borders lie your savings rate, your investment plan, your diversification strategy, your emotional reactions, and most importantly, the choice of when and how to act. This is where your power lies. The great mistake of the modern investor is to waste all their energy trying to influence the weather while leaving their own house unfinished, its doors and windows open to the storm. The first step to tranquility is to abandon the fight you cannot win and turn your focus to the one you can. This brings us to our second rule. You must architect your inner citadel. A financial plan is not a mere spreadsheet. It is a fortress built from your deepest values. Before you ever choose a fund or a stock, you must define your why. Why are you building wealth? Is it for the freedom to spend your time with loved ones, the security of your family, the ability to pursue work that nourishes your soul? This why is the foundation of your citadel. It must be so clear and so powerful that no market crash, no recession, no hype-fueled bubble can shake it. Think of Seneca's timeless wisdom. If a man knows not which port he sails, no wind is favorable. An investor without a deeply held purpose is a ship at the mercy of every storm. They will be swayed by fear, seduced by greed, and will inevitably end up shipwrecked on the shores of regret. But the investor whose actions are anchored to a meaningful goal sees the market's winds for what they are: mere currents, not a final destination. When the market falls 20%, their mission, educating their children in 10 years, retiring with dignity in 20, has not changed one bit. Once your fortress is designed, you must prepare its defenses. The third rule is to practice premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. This is not pessimism, it is strategic rehearsal. The shock of a loss is almost always more damaging than the loss itself. So, we practice. Once a month, sit quietly and visualize a significant market downturn. Imagine your portfolio value cut by a third. Feel the initial jolt of fear, acknowledge it, and then calmly walk through your planned response. You will not sell in a panic. You will review the unshakable why you have written down. You will remember that this event is external and does not diminish your character or your ultimate goals. By rehearsing for misfortune, you strip it of its power to surprise and overwhelm you. You are conducting a fire drill for your finances. When the real alarm sounds, you will not be part of the frantic, stampeding crowd. You will be the one who knows the exits, walking calmly towards your predetermined course of action. This rehearsal leads to a profound shift in perspective, encapsulated in our fourth rule. See volatility as an opportunity for virtue. For the unprepared investor, a market crash is a catastrophe. For the Stoic, it is a test. It is a rare chance to exercise the virtues of courage, discipline, and patience when everyone else is abandoning them. Marcus Aurelius taught that the obstacle in the path becomes the path. A bear market is not a roadblock. It is the terrain upon which your strength as an investor is forged. Imagine your favorite store announces a 40% off sale on everything you've ever wanted to buy. You wouldn't run from the store screaming. You would rush in, eager to acquire high-quality goods at a discount. A market crash is precisely this, a sale on the world's greatest assets. This is the moment your discipline pays off, allowing you to follow your plan and buy when others are fearfully selling. It is an opportunity to act with wisdom and courage, reinforcing the very character you wish to build. To act with such clarity, you must protect your mind. This is our fifth rule. Master your information diet. The 24/7 financial news cycle is not designed to inform you. It is designed to agitate you. Fear and greed generate clicks, and your peace of mind is the price you pay. Just as you would not nourish your body with a constant diet of sugar and junk food, you cannot build a resilient mind on a diet of sensationalist headlines and hot takes. You must become a ruthless curator of the information you consume. This requires deliberate action. Delete the distracting market apps from your phone's home screen. Schedule a single intentional financial check-in once a week or even once a month. During this time, you review your plan and your progress, not the market's daily noise. Unfollow the breathless commentators on social media. Reclaim your mental energy from the ceaseless chatter. Your goal is not to know everything that is happening, but to focus on the few things that actually matter to your long-term plan. This is not ignorance. It is strategic intelligence. A clear mind allows for rational action, which brings us to the sixth rule. Act on a system, not on a spark. Human willpower is a finite and unreliable resource, especially when faced with fear or excitement. True discipline is not found in white-knuckled self-control, but in building systems that make the right decision the easy, automatic choice. You must commit to a rational plan before the storm hits, and then automate its execution. This is how you protect your portfolio from its greatest enemy, your own impulsive, emotional self. Set up an automatic transfer from your bank account to your investment account on every payday. Set up automatic purchases of your chosen low-cost, diversified funds. Then, let the system do the work. This act of automation is a profound expression of Stoic wisdom. It is an admission of your own fallibility and a commitment to a rational process over a fleeting feeling. You are no longer trying to time the market. You are giving yourself the gift of time in the market, allowing the steady, boring, and powerful force of consistency to build your wealth in the background. While this system builds your net worth, there is a deeper, more fundamental practice required to secure your tranquility. This is the seventh and most transformative rule. You must sever the link between your self-worth and your net worth. The number in your investment account is an external. It is fickle, volatile, and subject to 1,000 forces beyond your command. To chain your sense of self to such a number is to volunteer for a life of emotional servitude. You will feel like a genius in a bull market and a failure in a bear market, your identity rising and falling with the tide. The Stoics teach that our true worth lies in our character, in our capacity for virtue, in the quality of our judgments and actions. This is the one asset that no market crash can ever devalue. Your patience, your discipline, your kindness, your courage, these are your real treasures. To cultivate this, you must consciously invest time in the non-financial pillars of your life, your relationships, your health, your hobbies, your learning. When you know your value is rooted in who you are, not what you have, the market's fluctuations lose their terrifying grip. You are free. To reinforce this, you must review your progress with a journal, not with your feelings. After a major decision or during your scheduled check-ins, write down not just what you did, but why you did it. Was the decision aligned with your long-term plan and your core values? Months or years later, you can review this journal and judge your decisions based on the quality of your reasoning at the time, not on the random outcome that followed. This practice separates process from outcome, allowing you to learn and improve without the corrosive effects of regret or ego. You might look back at a decision to sell a stock that subsequently skyrocketed. Your feeling is regret, but your journal shows you made the decision based on your written rules because the company's leadership had become unethical. The decision was virtuous, even if the outcome was financially suboptimal. This is how you learn to trust your system, and more importantly, to trust yourself. You become an investor who learns from the past without being imprisoned by it. Putting these rules together, we see that the Stoic investor's endgame is not a specific number in an account. The goal is not merely the accumulation of wealth, but the attainment of eudaimonia, a state of flourishing, of inner tranquility, and of profound freedom. It is the freedom from financial anxiety, the freedom to live a life aligned with your values, and the freedom from being emotionally manipulated by events beyond your control. It is to build an inner citadel so strong that you can look upon the chaos of the world with equanimity and resolve. Imagine yourself, years from now. The news is screaming about a market panic. People around you are consumed by fear, but you are calm. You see the news, you acknowledge it, and you feel no impulse to act. You know your system is working. Your citadel is secure. You close the screen and take a walk, fully present, your mind clear and your spirit at peace. You are not rich because of the size of your portfolio. You are rich because you are no longer poor in your wants. The journey to this state begins now, not with a grand gesture, but with a single, deliberate choice. You have been given a blueprint, an ancient operating system for building resilience in a world of chaos. The path is not about suppressing emotion, but about ensuring that reason, not fear, sits on the throne of your mind. You cease to be a leaf tossed in the wind of the market and become the architect of your own unshakable financial future. So, the ultimate question is not about how to make more money in the market. The real question is this: what is the price of your peace of mind, and what are you willing to do, starting today, to stop paying it?